Street Fighter 2, a cultural phenomenon which started in the mid-90s and has juggernauted its way to the present day, pretty much. We're up to version Street Fighter 5 now, well, or minor revisions thereof. And, yeah, there's no sign of it stopping particularly soon. But Street Fighter 2 is the one that kicked it all off and still remains very dear to people's hearts. I'm sure you're all aware what it is, but if you want a quick primer on it, it's a video game where people are in a fighting tournament hoping to win the favour of a man in a funny hat. It doesn't matter. It's got weird characters in. Every character is a freak. That's half the joy of it. None of them play similarly or look that similarly, as long as you don't count Ryu and Ken. And, frankly, it remains one of the best one-on-one fighting games ever bloody made. And I'll tell you what, it really did step out of the purely video game arena into pop culture in general in the mid-90s, leading to some very interesting merchandising decisions, to say the least. And hell, it's continued to this day. You can get, almost anything with Street Fighter 2 written on it if you want to go off to the people who have licensed such things for sale. But I want to look back first at some early stuff before we look in this mighty Street Fighter crate with two items of my own. Two of my favourite of the Street Fighter items. So, this is a G.I. Joe figure of Chun-Li. Yep, Chun-Li, the world's strongest woman. She fights using some form of kung fu style. I don't know off the top of my head. Tell you what she doesn't normally fight with. A grenade suspended between her breasts, which apparently the Hasbro people thought would be a good idea when designing this weird G.I. Joe figure. Also, her neck's broken. I don't know when that happened or how that happened, but there's not much I can do about it now. Yes, it's sort of an interesting thing, this. So they actually released the Street Fighter figures as part of G.I. Joe, branded and everything. It was all very, very odd. And they all had action features, which was the thing at the time. They're also largely made up of fresh heads on existing Ninja Force bodies or something. And they all have, as the grenade is massively testament to, weird design decisions. Look, she's got little kunai knives in her back or something. And wait for it. If you're wondering why her legs look ridiculous and like she's wearing a nappy or something, it's because they had to fit in the amazing spinning bird kick feature. Where she just kicks somebody in the shins. Deary me. All these action features on figures this small always ruined them, didn't it? Deary me. My favourite thing, though, is she's got a flintlock pistol on her leg. Chun-Li's famous flintlock pistol. What were they on when they designed these figures? I've got no idea. But they eventually went back and sort of revisited the G.I. Joe figures shortly afterwards when the Street Fighter movie with mighty Jean-Claude Van Damme came out. And they basically made them look more like the characters from the game rather than the ones from the movie, which is odd choice, but all very good. And I don't think they were branded G.I. Joe at that stage, but they clearly still were. And here is the mighty Blanca. Grrr. Grrr. I love this figure. It's just so sort of odd. Yet you can still tell it's Blanca. Unfortunately, none of them were in the original colours. Such is life. But it's a little bit Championship Edition, isn't it? We can get away with that. Unfortunately, his legs don't bend at the knee because he's gone for some sort of... That's his action thing. Where he throws a strop in the middle of a fight. He's supposed to roll up and be electric and stuff. I don't know. Anyway, I thought you'd enjoy a little bit of the weirdness before we get into the crate, which is probably full of other weirdness. The top of this crate, by the way, was amazing. Please refer to this photograph. Right, let's see what jolly items we've got in here. And off the top, there's a couple of books by the looks of it. And, wow, that's a cover. Oh, my God, number 1. Street Fighter 2 Comics #1 from Tokuma Comics. Look, here's a shouty man who doesn't appear to feature in the game at all. By Masaomi Kanzaki. Premiere issue. It's a really odd cover. Ryu just sort of pointing in the air as something explodes, and you've got Bison's face and Sagat in the background there. Super. We own the streets this summer, so you're probably going to have to pay rent. I don't know what this is like at all. They're advertising the 3D Wonderland book and some books based on Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind, which is always nice. La Laputa Castle in the Sky. All your favourite Studio Ghibli stuff. This is not as I kind of expected it. Let's flip through and see what the art and stuff is like. There we are. There's a friendly Ryu with Ken written. What? Oh, I see at the bottom of the pages they have descriptions of the characters. Gotcha. Chun-Li doing some woomph fighting action against a sailor who has no pupils in his eyes. That can't help you when you're fighting, surely. Then we've got... What? He's talking to Dennis the Menace? The English Dennis the Menace, not the American one, obviously. What? This is odd, isn't it? Is it like a comedy manga? Or is it sort of action with it, but if comedy in? I really don't know. Well, I'll probably read it at some point. I doubt it'll take long. I mean, it's got huge words like "womb" in it for your little Fist of the North Star feeling. You'll never know what hit you. Say no to drugs. That is odd. That is odd. If you do drugs, we'll punch you. Well, it's a way to stop people, isn't it? I'm sure it's effective. And that little kid is Wong Mei. There we are. Oh, bloody hell, look at that. Issue 1 from 1994, specifically April. Number 1 of 8. A limited series. I bet there's a million Street Fighter comics made now. Oh, my God. Udon famously did one, didn't they? And then went and did the graphics for that high-definition version of Street Fighter 2 that nobody liked. Right, next up is... Oh, my God, I recognise these. Well, the art, not these things specifically. From Games Master magazine. That was a magazine, one we used to kind of laugh at for, frankly, not being very good, and somehow managed to outlast a lot of other print magazines, even though it was based on a television programme which had been off the air for like a decade. Weird world. Yeah, there's Ken, look, back in the days when he was the Incredible Hulk. Yeah, this is... I mean, Chun-Li's not terrible. Guile's, yeah, Guile is the best of the bunch there, I think, because here's Ryu in the world's strangest pose, and he just looks like someone's drunk uncle or something, very odd. So these are obviously postcards that came with Games Master, and you could separate and rip them apart. Yes, literally postcards. You've got name and address and stuff you can write in the back. And here, that looks like some proper manga art. Oh, Vega there, that's odd, isn't it? And then we're getting back into the sort of other art style. Oh my God! I think there's multiple artists going on here. Look at Sagat. Sagat. It's time to go and fight. Don't want to. Come on. If you go and fight, we'll go to McDonald's afterwards. Don't care. Yep. Sagat in a sulk. Everybody's favourite bloody image. And yeah, we've got more of the official. God, yeah, I remember seeing these. Pictures of Cammy and Fei Long, they're repeated bloody everywhere. The old official artwork, and then, yeah, some possibly official artwork, or maybe ones they've drawn, I don't know. Isn't that odd that they've got such a disparate set of styles? But there we are. You've got 4, 8, 12 of these amazing postcards for if you travel back in time and want to send them to somebody. Well, give me a shout and I'll think you've gone mad, frankly. Oh my God! Oh, how does this exist? Oh, man. Oh. Street Fighter 2, Look and Find. Is this weird? Where's Wally for Street Fighter? That's Dalsim going insane at the bottom there. Oh, my goodness. Kind of looks like he's got a weird neckbeard thing going on. No, that's his chest hair. Definitely. That's... Wow. Oh, God, here's all the crew posing together like the good friends they aren't. The fighters are the same. Ryu, Guile, Sagat, and Bison. The weapons are the same. Strong legs, fast hands, clear minds, and brave hearts. Is a clear mind technically a weapon? Sure, that just means you're, like, asleep. The arenas are the same. The Air Force Base, the docks, the jungle. But now the action and excitement of Street Fighter 2 has been channeled into a non-stop look and find adventure. Search each of the 9 wildly confusing... Their words, not mine. Fighting arenas for hidden items and the 16 battling world warriors. Face wicked gags, painful puns, and the ultimate test of look and find interaction. Interaction? The challenge of the world warriors has once again been thrown down for you to me. Amazing. He looks far, far more like Liu Kang from Mortal Kombat than Ryu there. So, oh, you've got checklists at the back when you found stuff. Oh my God! Look at this. Looks like they're in ancient Greece for some reason, with famous American generals. For some reason. It's Ken's page. I'm destined to be the next champion of Street Fighter. We've got to find a captain, a sailor, a crab with a hat, a pelican, an anchor, a seal, a fisherman, and seashells. And obviously all 12 of the fighters, if the back has anything to go by. There's also off-brand Donald Duck. Look, well, there's E. Honda smashing his face into the side of a ship. Always a good idea. There's Blanca going up a chain, as he is famous for. There's Chun-Li and Cammy together at the bottom. There's Sagat being kicked by Ken, by the looks of it. Yeah, Ken is sort of spread over the centre of the page fold. You've also got Peter Pan. There's a lot of bloody little bits and bobs and cameos and goodness knows what's. Yeah, Peter Pan up there. There's the Isle of Man. Was this produced in the UK? There's the Statue of Liberty reading a book, because of course. My God. We found the captain. There we are. We've found one of the things we were supposed to find. This is astonishing. It really is. The level of detail, which is very important for this kind of thing. But, oh my God. Oh, wait. T-Hawk, everybody's favourite. And there was Ryu. He appears to be cleaning Ken's mystery machine van. Is that a thing? There's Guile, there's Zangief. Oh, yes. I suppose it's relatively easy to find them. Mainly because there's 16 of the buggers. And, you know, they've got to burn everything, apparently. That looks like Cobra Commander going down on that 32 back there. Interesting. And, oh, there's Dalsim doing a thing. I bet whoever drew all the stuff behind here was bloody annoyed when they stuck that over the top. Let's pick another one. Zangief in a Russian robot factory? What? Look at this for it. There's like a robot Robin from Batman. There's the false Maria from Metropolis, for crying out loud. You've got... What is going on here? You've got sort of Frankenstein up the top. This is amazing. Absolutely amazing. Dalsim is with a monk for some reason. I don't know, Rasputin's brother. There's some generic old lady robots. Cossacks going down the bottom. This is absolutely crazy. Ah, well. At least somebody's being patriotic. Go, Zangief! While Cammy attempts to kick Vega and misses. And there's Brumhilde coming along for the ride from Germany. Whoops! I think, go on, let's have a look at one more. This is Bison's one. I don't know what's going on in Thailand, but it's a hell of a mess. Right, he's floating through there doing his Psycho Crusher. And there's loads of his men or something in similar uniforms. Is that the thing as well? There's a bearded M. Bison clone on a tank. The tank has its own M. Bison hat. That is quite wonderful. Yeah, this is a hell of a thing, this book. I had no idea this existed. My God. M. Bison is a rotter, or is rotten, or is a rotten something. I don't know. But I'll tell you what. This is bloody amazing, and that can go there and be the centrepiece of my Street Fighter 2 Look and Find collection, which will consist entirely of this. Right, next on the agenda of items... Oh, God, here. I caught sight of this earlier. I knew it'd be in there somewhere. As mentioned previously, Street Fighter, The Ultimate Battle, a.k.a. Street Fighter the movie. This is, of course, on VHS, because that's the optimum way to watch it. Shadaloo, Southeast Asia, 1995. As Civil War enters its 7th month, Warlord General M. Bison, Raul Julia, the Adams family. They've spelled Adams wrong. I'm going to stop reading that now. And, yes, rated 12. It is Street Fighter the movie. Oh, my goodness. We hated this when it came out because it's nothing like Street Fighter. This is effectively a G.I. Joe movie with Street Fighter characters. There's no other way of looking at it, really. It's all about a sort of disparate force that gets together and then goes to storm an enemy base full of sort of generic soldiers with a few standout generals in it. It's an odd one, a very odd one. I quite enjoy it now because it's sort of campy fun. But at the time, we wanted to see a Street Fighter tournament movie. But the director of this famously didn't want to... what was his name? Steven D'Souza, wasn't it? Yes. In fact, I can barely make out his name at the bottom there. Good God, they've not put much detail into the old credits. Yeah, he did not want to make a tournament movie, so this came about. Apparently Capcom were very keen on the idea of Bison being this sort of Cobra Commander style figure, so yeah, it's a real oddity. Especially, of course, casting Belgian Jean-Claude Van Damme as all-American hero Guile. I mean, really, Street Fighter should be Ryu's story, really, shouldn't it? And about tournament. I don't know. I've not been commissioned to write a film about Street Fighter. But if I did, I would so hope it gets released by 2020 Vision. This is quite a light tape. This is certainly not a rental one. This is a home copy. Oh, I love an original receipt. Oh, what have we got? Blockbuster Express, 23 Newgate Street, Morpeth, Northumberland. Wow, what a difference. Wow, the Blockbuster's been and gone, hasn't it? They paid £10, got £5 a penny change for it was £4.99. My God. Well, there we go. Let's put that away carefully as a historical document that it is. My God, there was a game version of this with digitised sprites, which you probably know of, and yeah, it's not as bad as people say, but it ain't exactly great. And Capcom special offer for promotional use only. It's the soundtrack. I actually bought a copy of this for somebody for a gift once. Can't really say that the soundtrack to Street Fighter the movie is something I would necessarily be listening to a lot, but there we go. Has it got my favourite character, Sawada, at the bottom? No, but it's got T-Hawk on there twice, so that's good. T-Hawk is barely in the movie, by the way. Yeah, Sawada is an extra character they added because he was popular in foreign markets at the time. So just... let's stop thinking about Street Fighter, the movie, although you've got to mention, when you've got Ice Cube, Rally Rel, The Far Side and Another Level, all on the same soundtrack of a Jean-Claude Van Damme film, that's the bloody 90s in a nutshell, isn't it? Right, next up it's... Retro 6. What is this? Oh, a picture of a game. Is this a Game Boy and a cartridge and a funny case? Looks kind of ominous without the cover on, doesn't it? Oh, I've never ever played the Game Boy version of Street Fighter 2. But I hear it smells of many pups. Many, many bad pups. Right, I'm going to have to go and get a Game Boy and come back. Wow, that was quick. It wasn't actually. I had to go and find this and then put batteries in it. But hey, the magic of editing. Right. This rather nice retro modding Game Boy will do us a treat for the screen. Ooh, it's a bit overly bright. Should put some tape over that. Look at that. First time in. Usually you have to fiddle around with those old carts or clean them. Capcom, I should bloody hope so. Oh, the music's there. Oh, yeah. Go on. Let's wait for the proper bit to kick in. I'll turn that up a bit, actually. No, mustn't sing over it. Anyway, enough. Normal. Go on. Oh, God, who are we going to be? E Honda missing. There's no Vega either. Okay. I think I'm going to go for... Let's go for Kenneth. Why not? Who are we? We're going to Japan to fight Ryu. Makes sense. Okay, they're not going to be that easy to tell apart. I'll bet on the original Game Boy screen you couldn't. Oh, God. Oh, no. Well, the music's good. I mean, can't say much else to that, really. Oh, do the special moves work? Yes. Oh, my God, look how smooth. Ha, ha. Yeah, it's definitely based on, not Super, but... yeah, possibly. Yeah. I don't know. Where did he get the fiery thing? I can't remember enough versions of it. There's been so many versions of it over the years. So we've got the fiery uppercut, basically. Yeah, the special moves work quite well. Nothing else does. I do love the way the fireball goes so... Oh, hang on, I've lost, I think. Why is it still going on? Oh, right. You lose. Oh, here's a couple of frames for winning. Fair enough. When you throw the fireball is obviously using sprite more hardware or something. It's far smoother than anything else in the game, look. Right, let's try and do the old whirlwind kick. Yeah, oh yeah, that works fine. Oh my God, this is awful. There's no excuse for this. I don't know if you've ever seen the Game Boy version of Mortal Kombat 2, but it's bloody fantastic. Mortal Kombat 1 is terrible on the Game Boy, though, and Mortal Kombat 3 is dreadful as well. But for some reason, they managed to get only the second one right. Well, there is a beautiful version of Street Fighter Alpha for the Game Boy Color. Actually, beautiful is a bad word, because it looks a bit shit, but it plays great. Anyway, that was as bad as I have heard over the years. That really was not a joy for any sense, particularly not the gameplay sense. Dearie me. Right, what is... Oh, this is very interesting. Street Fighter 2 Keychain. Here's all our stolen artwork. Obviously not actually registered to... Well, maybe it is. Maybe it was placket. Oh, I don't know, the back looks a bit... Maybe this was an official Keychain. It looks very unofficial to me. It really does look like something just knocked together and they've maybe pretended, but it claims to be a member of the Toy Manufacturers of America. from Placo Toys, I don't know. And there is a Ken in frozen in an ice cube for your keyring purposes from 1992. Look at that, an early one. I'm going to open it. Fuck it. It's probably worth £1 million. Not anymore. Stuart's ruined it. There's a specific reason I'm opening it, though. I'm an idiot. No. Oh, it has Street Fighter 2 embossed on it. Look, can you see that? Oh, yeah, here we are. Made in China. Capcom 1992. Can we open it? Oh, it's glued shut, you son of a bitch. Oh, and he's glued to the back as well. Look, he's got little pegs in the back. Damn. Kind of regret opening it now. I wanted to see if I could get the figure out. Because this looks really similar to the old knockoff Street Fighter 2 playsets I've got. Right, bear with me. I'm actually going to go and get those, and we're going to do a comparison. Right, so I've brought them all. They basically come in little cases that look like old Super Nintendo controllers, and they're very, very unlicensed. But inside each one is a little play set of Street Fighter. I'm sure you've probably seen these. I reviewed these on my channel years ago after managing to find some on eBay after seeing them in Great Yarmouth once many years ago. Here we are. There's E Honda, look, versus M Bison. These can come apart at the waist, and you can sort of swap their legs around if you want, or at the very least give them some kind of articulation along there. Yep, Bison's slightly crazy armour there, but oh yeah, if you haven't seen this video and you want to, don't worry, it's still on the channel, you can go and watch it. We're not going to go into depth here for that reason. Here we go. This is actual neckbeard Blanca. Let's pop you back on there, and don't damage the bench, Ryu. Look at all the gaiters and the Crocs. Yep, Ryu wearing Ken's trousers, still very rude after all these years, and a very shiny silver top. You can guess what I want to check here, can't you? Yeah, that's not a coincidence. That is the same bloody sculpt. Yeah, the faces are the same. They're just painted differently, I think. Nope. There is no headband on this one, actually. There is a headband sculpted if you look at the back. I thought it was just paint. So they are the same body sculpt with a different head. Isn't that interesting that these came up? And this Street Fighter 2, is that actually licensed? See, I just got no idea. What a weird thing it is. What a weird thing. I say it's not exactly the same sculpt, because I think Ken's arm is slightly more bent at the elbow than this one. Also, the skin's a better colour. Maybe this is a knockoff of these moulds. Maybe they knocked off, and then, reproduced these in lower quality rubber or something. Fascinating. Bloody fascinating how these companies used to work, and still do indeed. If you want to look in the last one, I managed to complete it. I didn't have ChunLi when I did the video all those years ago, but now there she is. We have her in all her fighting glory. There we are. The video is finally complete. I don't know why she's got white horns. She's a demon now, and why not? It's all the rage. I love these little sets. They're such weird little knockoff things. Bloody fantastic. Right, enough of that. We must now move on. Well, actually, I think it's time to travel through time, because looking at everything else in there, I don't think there's any of more... I'm going to sneak a look, actually. Nope, it's all more modern stuff in there now, so we're going to shoot... Oh, wait, no. Got to see the T-shirt. Yeah, right. What is this T-shirt? It's going to be something Ken related, I would have said, because it's red. Because, of course, a crate always comes with a T-shirt, doesn't it? Oh my God. Here's one for the Ashens fans. Do you know what? I'm not even going to explain that if you don't get the amount of references of Barry the chef shouting, "How do, Ken?" as somebody says, "Buckham doodaloo." As Baz Masters fights Naughty Russell in the chair. I might have said that to Barry, that'll frighten him. Dearie me. Right, by the looks of it, that is all we have for older collectibles. We've got more recent stuff now. Probably missed something in the bottom of the crate that'll totally prove me wrong on that. But anyway, let's have a look at these more recent items straight after the old ones, and certainly not with a delay of several months between recording the first part of this video and the second for logistical reasons. Seriously, I've actually been off and recorded a bit of a documentary where I talk about Street Fighter 2 merchandise. It's unbelievable. I'll give you a link or something then. Anyway, figures. Knockoff figures, I would assume. Now, I wasn't aware of figures in this scale, but I'm pretty sure these are knockoffs of some sort of existing figure design. I'll tell you what makes me think that. It's got all the full articulation and stuff which you would expect, along with the detail from sort of official figures, but the plastic isn't very good and they're all falling to bits. Look, El Fuerte's leg has dropped off. His head's... Oh, I think his head's going to go back on, actually. Oh, yeah, that's not too bad. And Guile's in half. So, yes, this, if you're not aware of this character, which you may not be, to be fair, this is a Street Fighter 4 character, El Fuerte, who was like a luchador wrestler, and he was also a chef, and he was quite comedic, and his head was not that small. I promise you, his head was not a tiny little pin in the game. Also, his leg didn't come off, to my knowledge. That's one of those characters nobody really liked, frankly, and hasn't appeared in anything since, I don't know. So, that's the end of that. Then, old Ryu. Looks like he hasn't washed his gi for quite some time, and it's gone all grey. Dirty Ryu. Yeah, I mean, these figures are... I'm not entirely down with the design of them, but I don't know how... I'm not aware of the original figures on these, so I don't know if these are particularly good versions. I mean, look at the head. I'm not particularly down with the face sculpt for this, but also, if his head ends here and then that's hair, his hair is somehow sitting elevated from his head. If not, he's got the biggest forehead in history, which is weird. Yeah, I'm not entirely down with these, to be honest with you. We've got Seth, the Street Fighter 4 boss, who's like a combination, I suppose, of Urian and Gil for the Street Fighter 3, I suppose is the best way of putting it. And he's got a washing machine with a yin-yang symbol in his guts, because reasons. Also, he's not generally orange. I think blue is the standard colour. Appeared again in Street Fighter 5. Do you know what? I can't get on with the proportions of these. It's like, the bodies are okay, but the heads are just too damn small. Or you don't understand it, or you don't. Anyway, Guile's fine. I mean, he's in half, but he's fine. No, he's not going back in. No wonder he looks so upset. Coming on, Ma. Gonna go home and be a family man. The good old Guile haircut. Not particularly well rendered on the top. I'm going to assume that's due to knockoffness. Yeah, well, the tattoo's quite good. I am going to assume that these are very much not official versions of the figures. Look, he's got one. He should only have one of these tattoos. He doesn't have them everywhere. Bloody hell. Let's forget about that. And let's look instead at this comic book. I think the graphic novel of... Oh, I did not know this existed. Street Fighter Cross, or Versus, I suppose. Yeah, they do call it Cross now, doesn't it? First, G.I. Joe. Is there anything G.I. Joe hasn't crossed over with? There was the G.I. Joe Transformers in the past. Now he's doing bloody everything. This feels really odd. You've had the G.I. Well, I suppose you did have Street Fighter in G.I. Joe for a bit, technically, I suppose, with the old figures, didn't you? And, I mean, you could argue, as we said, that Street Fighter the movie is more G.I. Joe than bloody Street Fighter in the plot and the way things go out. But, well... It seems to be some kind of big old tournament going on. Oh, God, there's, Hakan, the oil wrestler guy. Very strange character. Who is that? Jinx. I think there's going to be a lot of fighting from the obvious Kung Fu G.I. Joe people, which will be Jinx, maybe Kamakura, Storm Shadow, I suppose, Snake Eyes, Quick Kick. I must leave the obvious till last. Blimey. Oh, God, they've got all this... This must have been some sort of Street Fighter 4 era or times. There's a lot of Street Fighter 4 characters going on. Oh, what's going on here? Is Jinx gone crazy with the evil, murderous intent thing going on? Oh, my God. Move from bloody Raiden in Mortal Kombat there. Oh, well, I shall read this at some point. It looks kind of crazy. I'm down with that. But I very much doubt it'll have the kind of deep and emotional storyline which will stay with you for years. But hey, who knows? I have yet to read it. Tell you what, I have also yet to open. I bought a couple of these, although not Street Fighter ones. Welcome to Savage World Street Fighter. So these are figures basically that Funko have been making. Yes, they have the pops. They do actually make interesting things as well. And they're basically sort of He-Man style figures, I suppose is the best way to put it. Unfortunately, these are quite collectible, so I won't be opening this because obviously that would ruin any resale value, so that's a shame. But Yeah, I got one of Hellraiser, of Pinhead from Hellraiser in this. It was reduced in HMV. What a day that was. Blanca has that kind of thing where it doesn't kind of matter what style you do it in. It always looks quite Blanca and quite interesting. Yeah, I'm enjoying this. Big old hair. The proportions kind of work for him, actually. This is actually a really nice figure. I'm quite down with this. Feels a lot more solid, oddly, than the Hellraiser one I've got. That's strange. Yeah, I'm liking that. It's one of these things where they take a style and put a character in it where it may not fit, but it really does kind of fit. Also, bonus points for doing the anklets quite well. Although, weren't they originally gold? Or sort of yellow, rather than a dark colour? Well, that doesn't matter too much, does it? And we've also got M. Bison. We all know what the M stands for. Mickey! Yes, Mickey Bison. Little Mickey Bison. Here he is. This is the Street Fighter V design of Bison, isn't it? Maybe this is the Street Fighter V design of Blanca. Is he even in Street Fighter V? I don't know. I have lost count of who's in it and who's isn't these days. But you can tell this is because of the white hair and the sort of longer, slightly skirt-like coat thing going on. Yeah, this looks all right. It doesn't quite work as well as Blanca, I don't think, but it's not a bad figure. I'd maybe pick it up if it was cheap or something. Don't know. This one's going to be going on a shelf somewhere, though, because it looks ludicrous, and I bloody love it. Let's on that one. Do you know what? I've brought up? I've brought up the Blanca duck. I think I've shown you this before. This is one of my favourite Blanca things. Yep, rubber duck. That looks like Blanca. See, it works in any medium. My only complaint of this is I would have liked the hair to be a slightly lighter shade. But yeah, this is one of my favourite things because it's just so bloody ridiculous. From the Tubbs range, they did a load of Street Fighter 2 stuff. The only two that really worked for me were that one and Guile. And do you know why Guile works for me? Not because of the crazy hair, which is quite amusing. Oh, look, maybe I was wrong. There is one on each arm. Oh, I suppose because they just reversed the sprite. Oh my god, I didn't realise there was full-on writing on there. Guile William F. Yeah, that's true. O positive blood, apparently. What I really like about this is the eyebrows, the brow ridge, because it looks exactly like the shape of his face in the old winning and especially actually losing pictures in Street Fighter 2, especially the original ones. The very, very hard brow going on. Anyway, that will do us. There is one more item in here, and it's not directly Street Fighter related, but it's certainly useful for such things. Gladiator game joystick for NS. IPEGA since 1994. I've never heard of IPEGA, I think. Works with Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch Lite. That's handy. So it's just oh god, I've got to hang on. No, I can rip it. Ah, there we are. We've done it. Thought I was going to have to go and cut sellotape there. So it is. Oh, it plugs in via USB-C. Okay, it's easy. Put your Switch on there. And, oh, the buttons aren't great, but aren't terrible. Yeah, a little arcade stick to make playing of your fighting games much, much easier. It's, oh. Just going to rewind what I just said. And here it is to make the playing of your fighting games much, much more difficult. Oh, God, look. It's like, feels like it should be analogue or something. Oh, I wonder what the dead zone's going to be like in it. It's not really going to be... Oh, it's going to be awful, isn't it? Well, there's one way to find out. I'm quickly going to go plug the Switch into it and tell you what it's like. Bloody awful. Exactly as you'd expect. You just can't really do much with that at all. Oh, you just have definite directions on the sticks and micro switches. You can't... Oh, what a disappointment. Anyway, that's enough of that. That be quite a lot of stuff to do with the second of the Street Fighters, or as we in the trade call it, Street Fighter 7. If you are into your Street Fighter 2, there is a documentary coming up called Here Comes a New Challenger from movie retrospectives man Mr. Oliver Harper. And I did an interview for it, like I said earlier, and talked about some of this stuff and bits and bobs. Hang on, I'll show you a clip where I said this. Here is the USSR factory full of random people. But that's not all, I also said this. Oh my goodness. I didn't say this though. Turnips are the best. So there you are, that's about to finish up on Kickstarter. If you're interested, go and back it and get yourself a copy and all that kind of stuff. In the meantime, I'm just going to get my fantastic... How is this fixed? Oh. I thought I couldn't get his stuff to them. Well, that's really good. Now he can take to the skies as God intended. Oh! Okay, God didn't intend for him to fall, but my slippery hands. Anyway, I'm going now. And always remember, never ever play against somebody who's new at the game, select E-Honda, and constantly 100 hand slap them. It's not funny.
Are you men enough to fight with me?
Anyone who opposes me will be destroyed.
Shut up! Up, light, boy.